3:45 a.m. How early did you get in that day, by the way?
Probably 3:30.
How long did you do sign-on shift?
I signed on like 7 years.
Not all.
6 days a week for 7 years.
Lightweight.
I know. Couldn't do it now. Now when I wake up at 3:30 is to go to the bathroom. And go back to bed.
Welcome to the 2 o'clock hour, Metro News Midday, powered by Salango Law. Visit salangolaw.com on a Wednesday, and I apologize because Stephanie Pauly is our producer, one of the producers of the show, and normally she has everything. We have a thing we call the run sheet, when we have who we're calling and what we're doing and so on. And Stephanie, I don't even know whether you know this. I did the run sheet today, and I put the wrong date on. I put 2025 on it. Because how many of us in modern day actually write the date out anymore? I mean, you did it when you were in school. You did it back when people wrote checks and whatever. This may have been the first day that I have written the date down, and I was responsible for putting together the sheet. And my co-host, the lovely and talented AB, starts the show by saying January 24th, 2025, because she read it directly off the sheet. And it is indeed the year of our Lord, 2026.
Oh, yeah, he did find something out. Something, you're related to Thomas Jefferson?
Well, no, I'm not related to Thomas Jefferson, but I am related to Samuel Kercheval, who was a historian.
I'm going to tell you something about Samuel Kercheval. Him and Jefferson out smoking corn silk. Kercheval told him, Thomas, I don't know about this country. Might want to start again.
He could.
So I don't have a monitor here, so I really can't see what happens at the beginning of the show. Mm-hmm. So at what point do I pop up? When the music starts and Mr. Announcer comes on?
Yeah.
So they see all the little panic things that I do that I'm still in the process of setting up?
Yes. They see you shuffle about uncomfortably. They see you blow the dust off your headphones. They see you put in like 2 cough drops at the same time.
Oh, yeah. I don't do 2 at the same time. Yeah. Okay. All right. I don't know that. I should probably... Now, these shows are archived, right? So I can go back and watch them.
Yes.
So I could live this show in real time and then go home and, when I say something to Linda like, hey, did you hear when I did this? And I don't watch it. Well, let's get in front of the TV and watch me do it again for 3 straight hours.
Yes, it's archived just like the audio podcast.
Ah, that's right.
And see, this is the thing that gets the NCAA in trouble, when it goes to court here. Is there a clock or not? Greg, we talk about the clock all the time. Mm-hmm. If he began in 2019, the clock should have run out, whether he's played the 4 years or not. And that's part of the argument, because some guys go right through the clock, right? TJ Finley, we've mentioned many times on this show. 7th team coming up this year. He's playing for Incarnate Word. He's played 7 seasons at 7 different schools. Now, why hasn't his clock started? Why doesn't he have the 5-year clock? So if you're Aguilar, I get it.
He just bouncing him off the ropes. Somebody save this man. Oh, my Lord. Oh. Very nice, very nice. He hit him with everything he didn't want.
Ten seconds remaining.
Going to be a direct snap here.
Snap back. It's Tyler. Tyler fakes the run. He throws. He's got an open man. Pass top 10. 5. End zone. It's a touchdown. Pulled in by Nestor. 3 seconds left.
Are you kidding me with the play call right there by Kevin Whiteman? Again, forget the game-winning field goal. Whiteman says, we're going to try and win this thing right now. The direct snap to Tyler sucked everybody up, and Nestor slips behind. What an unbelievable gutsy play call, and then perfect execution by these Falcons.
Things aren't always going to be great. And sometimes, you can work really, really hard and it's still not great. You're still not successful. But, if you continue to do it, one way or another, things are going to be work out. You're going to be successful. And it may not be in the world's eyes, but God's made us this way. He's blessed us with so many things, and I think that's one of our attributes that we need to have is we're going to continue to work. We're going to continue to work hard, and if it doesn't work out exactly how we want, just keep plugging away because God's got better plans.
Live from West Virginia's capital city with news from across the state. This is Metro News Midday, presented by Salango Law, with 13 News and Tonight Live anchor Amanda Barron and Metro News' Dave Allen.
It's the 2 o'clock hour, Metro News Midday, powered by Salango Law. Visit salangolaw.com. Open line West Virginia coming up at the bottom of the hour. 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK 304. It's Metro News Midday.
Metro News Midday is presented by Salango Law. SalangoLaw.com. Join in by calling 800-765-8255 or text 304-TALK 304. Let's go live to downtown Charleston. Here's Dave Allen.
Welcome into the show, Metro News Midday. West Virginia's on the rise. New businesses, new opportunities, and a strong, resilient workforce leading the way. Check out the full story, WVNrich.com. Video presentation sponsored by Huntington Bank, proud to be investing in the future of West Virginia. Open line West Virginia coming up at the bottom of the hour. Your calls, your text. 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK 304. We'll get to that. Also, may have an appearance from a delegate to David McCormick, who serves out of Mon County. If you were listening the last couple of days, we had an interview with Delegate McCormick that ran, had to cut it a little bit short because we simply ran out of time. We ran some of the, I think it was the governor's press conference, I think is what it was, a couple days ago, and that was a little late starting and a little bit. So I told Delegate McCormick we'd make it up to him. So if his schedule lines up, we may have him coming up a little bit later on. I can tell you who is here, though. It's Taylor Richmond, the Libertarian Party state chair, joins us in studio here this afternoon. Good afternoon, sir. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Dave. Pleasure to be here in person.
A frequent contributor to the show, but first time you and I have ever met in person.
Yeah, long overdue. I said to the secretary we've had a long-distance relationship for some time now, and glad we could make
Watch
it
how you say that. That doesn't
face-to-face.
sound right. But, he texted me the other night and said, I'm going to be in Charleston. I'd like to stop by the studio and actually meet you because we've never met. You've been on the show, 10, 11 times, something like that.
I don't think we'll work our way that direction, but
Okay.
a number of times, but we'll keep counting.
All right, and so it's always an interesting discussion when we have you here. All right, so you were at the Capitol today. I heard you a little bit of your interview on Talkline today as well. What's your takeaway from the session, from what's like the discussions today, and where we're heading as we close this thing out next week?
Yeah, I mean, one of the big things we were doing down there is obviously talking with delegates and senators who, one, align with us on a number of issues, some of the folks who are on the fence on a number of other ones, but letting them know that the Libertarian Party is here to, make a voice and make those voices heard. We represent thousands of registered libertarians, but tens of thousands, if not more, of individuals who are very liberty-minded, who don't know about the party yet, but believe in a lot of the core principles of small government, less taxes, and more freedom. And watching a couple of those bills that ensured those things. And one of the big ones was Hope funding. And we were there to stand with a lot of our Hope families during some of the House and Senate hearings, and making sure that was protected and continued to move forward and be fully funded moving forward in the next year.
Well, it looks like, and I've talked to several people about this, and in our own reporting as well. We had TJ on a little bit earlier, live from the Capitol. It looks like they have come in this funding bill. They've come to a place that I won't say everybody's happy with, but not as many people are upset with. Something they can work with.
Yeah, that's what we're seeing as well. And one of the changes that we think is going to move forward is from quarterly to quarterly payments, which we think makes sense for the funding mechanism. So we're completely fine with that if that is the only change to it in the upcoming year. So no, I think we're happy. I think a lot of the Hope families are happy with that as a compromise, and just excited to see it funded moving forward.
What's on your radar for the next weekend? It'll all close down. I guess midnight next Saturday night. What do you expect to be crossover days next week? What are you taking a look at?
Yeah, I think unfortunately because it is an election cycle, an election year, there's not a whole lot of quote unquote controversial things that anyone wants to put forward and be on the record for or against. Do want to say thanks to Delegate Horse and a number of others who are promoting the constitutional carry for 18-year-olds. We think that's moving forward and going to be.
Why do you think it's important?
I think because if you're of legal age to go and protect our country, to sign up to be in the police, EMS, all kinds of other things, be an adult in every other capacity, you should have the constitutional right to defend yourself like everybody else. We already have plenty of laws and crimes on the books for mishandling firearms. If you do anything violent with firearms, you shouldn't. Murder is always a crime. Over-policing and restricting liberties when we have things on the books, this doesn't make sense and violates, in our opinion, the Constitution.
Yeah, and one of the in a former life when I was in state government, and we used to do a lot of voter when I worked for the Secretary of State's office, we did a lot of voter registration drives, and that was when we talked about the amendment to get 18-year-olds the right to vote. So many years ago, one of the things that we talked about was you should, if you're expected to go fight and die for your country, because when this was passed was right around the time the Vietnam War was going on, but you aren't allowed. The line I used to give in giving my speeches, it was at that time you were expected to go fight and die for your country, but you were not allowed to vote for the men or women who sentenced you to the possibility to die for your
you
country.
can defend our country, but you can't defend yourself.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
Yeah, so we're excited for that. We're appreciative of the work that's going forward with that bill. Another thing that we're hopeful for, we saw it moving forward, is some restrictions on open fields doctrine, which there's a bill regarding the ability for law enforcement to place cameras on private property without consent of the property owner. We think there's going to be some amendments to that will be behind as well to really expand the ability of individuals to dictate what happens on their own property. So that's another one that's kind of moving forward. But obviously, we're proponents of any type of tax, state income tax or other tax reductions that we can see from the budget as it moves forward. And I know there's going to be some shell games and some moving around, and the dust is going to settle. But anything that we can do that moves that process, expedites that process beyond the stated triggers, is going to be something we're behind as well.
Within the hour, and I know you said you were listening coming in from the Capitol, within the hour, the governor making that announcement about this major economic development project, 1.9 million square feet, $4 billion investment in Berkeley County High Intelligence Center is what they're calling it. He said, and I'm very much paraphrasing here during the press conference, no private funds were used.
No public.
No public. I'm sorry. Big difference there, Dave.
Yeah.
Big difference. No public fund. Thanks for catching that. No public funds were utilized. And again, all the details are going to be worked out on that. When you hear an announcement like that, where does your mind go?
Well, first, I think there will probably be some things that the state has done and funded to prepare that, literally lay the groundwork for that. Maybe the announcement itself and the development of the bringing the company here otherwise is not publicly funded. So whenever we hear that, we're on board. But I think it goes to show what happens and what can happen in West Virginia when we get government out of the way. I think that was one of the big ideas behind this, was some deregulation and removing the barriers of companies coming in and actually doing business here. Let's remove the governor off of that and full speed ahead on some of these things. But I will add to that the major compromise, or if you want to call it that, is that we have to hold these companies and these businesses accountable if they are doing harm. I know there's a lot of concern around data centers and the like and the impact they're going to have on the environment and their communities. If they are actually causing harm to fields and streams and their neighbors, and they need to be civilly liable as well. So I think it goes hand in hand. But when you pull the brakes off of the private development, you see things like this happen.
I think there is, and you and I have talked about this in the past when we talk about the Libertarian Party. I think that there is a mindset that people think, okay, you guys don't want any rules. You guys don't want any police. You don't want anything like that. That's really not true.
That's not true. I mean, what we generally say is we want the government so small that it doesn't matter who's running it. We have to have some type of enforcement of contracts and protecting individuals and individual property, so that has some type of frame and enforcement mechanisms. But in the meantime, right now as chair, I can say we want to take a pragmatic approach. We want to work with legislators and the government to peel back and boil the frog to get government as small as possible so that we can see more things like the announcement today happen and more freedoms return to West Virginians.
Talking again with Taylor Richmond, who is the party chair of the Libertarian Party in West Virginia. All right, so you and I were talking a little bit off the air about this. It is an election year. All the House seats are up. Some of the Senate seats are up as well. A lot of municipal elections. U.S. Senator is up right now. And a lot of times in legislature, people don't want to do anything that's going to make anybody angry because they're all, especially in the House, they're all fighting for re-election. When you talk, just one-on-one conversation, texting, whatever, with some of the folks that have gotten elected in West Virginia, this is going to be a very complex question. I mean, complex coming from
I'm
me.
tracking. Yeah, go ahead.
Complex coming from me, anyway. The sense I have gotten in talking to some other political pundits is that if you went back years ago, some of the people that are Republicans wouldn't be Republicans. They might be Democrats.
Sure.
And break that down.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think in a lot of cases you hear that I didn't leave the party left me, regarding whatever party that was. And I will say that about the Republican Party. I used to be a Republican myself. And we have a number of our party members who are former Democrats. And some of it, I think, is just studying up on the issues and learning about what libertarianism is and the philosophies that we base ourselves on. And I think if most people would take the time to actually, and part of it is our responsibility as well, we have to get the word out. And that's something that we're working very hard on now. But once people realize that, especially in West Virginia, they'll realize that they're libertarians at heart, too. They want to be left alone. They want to be able to help their neighbors as much as physically possible by keeping most of their, or if not all of their income in their pocket without government taking it away. So when they hear that, they're like, oh, yeah, I'm pretty libertarian myself. We might differ on the fringes on a number of things, but we don't have that strong of a litmus test. We're open arms. But you see that in the Republican Party now. I think you have a lot of just pro-life Democrats who put an R next to their name and are now down in Charleston. And I think that's why you're seeing a fracture within the Republican Party down here, and you're seeing folks like the Freedom Caucus take a stand and actually set themselves apart because they feel, in a sense, conscripted by a moderate and sometimes Democratic-leaning majority in the Republican Party.
I normally don't do any text until Open Line West Virginia, but this is a text that came in because I think it's a fair question, so I'm going to steal this text and make it into a question, make it look like I've done my job here. A texter says libertarians are okay with using tax dollars for private schools.
So, yeah, okay, great question. I would say we're generally not. They're obviously talking about the Hope Scholarship. Mm-hmm. Here's where we're pragmatic. The Hope or public education is within the Constitution. There's no chance, pragmatically, that is going to be an amendment that would ever come through through the legislature or through the ballot. So in the meantime, our approach is pragmatically, let's allow public funding, taxpayer dollars, to be allow for the choice that Hope provides. So there's a lot of situations, and folks like Katie Twitter and others who have been on Metro News, your show, Talkline, have talked about the various scenarios where Hope has really made a difference. And that choice to give students opportunities that are outside of the cookie cutter that most times public school provides allows them to flourish where they didn't have the financial support to do that before. So yes, it's a compromise, it's pragmatic, but we're not going to be able to change the state constitution anytime soon. So I think that's a middle ground that we can reach with a lot of folks.
Taylor Richmond, State Libertarian Party. It's always a pleasure to have you on the show, and nice to finally meet you in person.
Been a blast.
Thanks for coming down to Charleston, and so we'll talk again soon. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Dave.
All right, we're going to take a break. Coming back with more after this. Stay with us.
The Mountain East Conference Men's and Women's Basketball Tournament presented by the Health Plan is back at Wheeling's West Banco Arena, March 4th through the 8th. Past men's basketball national finalists West Liberty and Fairmont State, and 2022 women's basketball national champion Glenville State will be featured from the highest scoring NCAA Division II basketball conference in the country. Visit westbancoarena.com for advanced tickets and Tournament Central at mountaineast.org for tournament information, stories, results, event schedule, streaming, and television broadcast information. Join us for the Mountain East Conference Basketball Championships presented by the Health Plan, March 4th through the 8th at West Banco Arena in Wheeling.
We'll be right back. This is Metro News Midday. Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
I have had a complicated relationship with food. My job was to talk to heart failure patients about diet and exercise. I felt like, why would you listen to me? Because I was not following a diet that was healthy for me. I needed help. Bariatric surgery at WVU Medicine helped me lose 175 pounds. I feel like I'm free. They hold the skill, they hold the tools, and they're waiting for you to come say that you need the help.
Trojan Landing Marine is now Charleston's newest power sports dealership.
We now feature a full line of sleek Suzuki street bikes and four-wheelers. We're now offering the innovative riding experience of Benda motorcycles. The next step in motorcycle evolution with all-electric Zero high-performance bikes. We've now got Segway vehicles starting as low as $10,000. Come in and check out our great selection of high-quality Benelli and Royal Enfield bikes. Visit Trojan Landing in Charleston, now your water, road, and dirt dealership.
For your daily fix of sports in West Virginia, there's only one stop. Sportsline on Metro News Television. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at WVMetroNewsTV.com. Join Kyle Wiggs, Coach Hunter, and Brett Howe weeknights for Sportsline on Metro News Television.
Right with a new ride from Dan Cava GMC. Come explore our 2026 GMC Acadias. Spacious, smooth, and made for everyday life. It's truly a fan favorite. Drive into winter with a new 2026 GMC Sierra, now up to $12,000 off, or lease as low as $499 a month. So upgrade your ride this year with us at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop Thora.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
Hi, I'm Chris Lawrence. Make plans to join me at the Mountain State's premier fishing, hunting, and outdoor sports show presented by Can-Am, Saturday and Sunday, March 7th and 8th at Milan Park in Morgantown. Over 200 vendor booths and 100,000 square feet of everything outdoors, all under one roof. Great prizes, seminars, and kids fish for free in the Academy Sports Trout Pond. It's the 24th annual West Virginia Fishing, Hunting, and Outdoor Sports Show, March 7th and 8th at Milan Park in Morgantown. Doors open both days at 9 a.m.
Welcome back to the show, 223 Metro News Midday, powered by Salango Law. Visit salangolaw.com. If you didn't hear the announcement, last hour, West Virginia's Governor Patrick Morrisey announcing $4 billion private sector investment into what's called Future Data in West Virginia. It's dubbed a high-impact intelligence center. Expected to be about 1.9 million square feet, about 548 acres in Falling Waters in Berkeley County. Expected to be connected to the local power grid and have at least 600 megawatts of IT capacity. Governor called it a difference maker. And again, we're looking at about, when it's all said and done, about 125 full-time jobs, 1,000 construction jobs, and we'll have more available at WVMetroNews.com. Delegate David McCormick is with us right now in studio. Good afternoon, sir. Welcome to the show.
Hey, man. Thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
And I apologized to you the other day because live radio, we
cut me off.
We had you live from the Capitol.
Note to self: don't get on the show in front of a hard break.
See, you're even learning the radio terms now. You know, hard break. But he reached out to me because I said, "Look, I'm going to make it up to you," and he was available. So, what's been going on today under the dome? I know you're in studio with us now, but what's been going on under the dome?
Well, we
today?
had a marathon, unexpected session yesterday. We were in there for about 4 or 5 hours, just talking about debating several things. The budget, obviously, is a big deal. First, I wanted to comment on this announcement today. What a wonderful thing. You know, I'm a fan of these data centers. They're going to build them somewhere. They're going to build them somewhere. And with AI and Facebook and the increase in traffic of all that stuff, these companies are going to build them. They're building them in Virginia. They're going to build them in Louisiana and Texas and all these places. Why not here? And the amount of tax revenue that they generate for the state, it would fix a lot of things. It would cure a lot of ills. It would pay for a lot of water systems and fund road projects and different things. And so the tax revenue these things generate, not a lot of jobs, but some jobs. But the tax revenue that these would generate, particularly in a poor county, fill in the blank, would make a difference in a lot of people's lives. That's my opinion. I know there's detractors out there that don't want them, but I'm a fan of them.
What would you say to those detractors that would talk about the environmental impact of it?
Well, I think it's minimal compared to extraction industries that we've, which I'm also a fan of, but nonetheless, the environmental impact is minimal. They talk about a lot of the water that we use. Well, there's a closed loop and an open loop cooling system. Most of them are closed. They recycle the water. They do use a lot of water, but it's not like they're sucking it right out of the creek or the river, right there beside them or wherever. Most of the water that they use is recycled just to cool the servers. It's a pretty simple concept, really.
I would also say, Delegate McCormick, that for those that, and it's America, you can feel however you want to about them, but for those who are so adamant about them, I don't see a lot of them giving up their iPhone. They're not. I'm just saying.
Oh, and they're using AI for everything. They're and not giving up their phones, and they're these Facebook warriors and whatnot, and so this is not going to go away. And I flew recently to D.C. from Charleston and a couple of weeks ago, and I could not believe my eyes when I flew. We flew over Northern Virginia, landing at Reagan, and there are dozens and dozens and dozens of these things everywhere in Virginia. But anyway, I don't want to suck up all the time talking about that. It's a great announcement. Kudos to all involved there, and I'm happy for the folks and my friends over in Berkeley County and Jefferson County and that neck of the woods, Morgan County, that are going to bear the fruits of this. But but yesterday, we went over our budget in the House on the floor, and our very capable chairman, Vernon Chris, who I have a lot of respect for, went through our budget. People have to remember the budget is an expense document.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a revenue document. It's an expense document. And we're provided with the revenue estimates from the governor, the executive. That's he's charged with that. He does that. He estimates it, and we fit the expenditures within that budget, within that revenue. It's very simple, actually. And now there's hundreds of line items in that, but the concept is simple. And we're told, we think that the revenue estimate that he gave us included a 5% tax cut, and we fit our estimates within that to fund, pick a subject, it's, whatever it is, and whether it's Medicare or Hope or Promise or PI, blah, 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 down the list. That's all gets funded, and the revenue that he gives us. Our budget was about $30 million and change less than his as far as what we spend. And
Delegate, I tell you, I'm not going to cut you off.
Okay, go
I'm
ahead.
going to go to break.
Yeah,
and I'm going to bring you back.
Okay,
I'm not going to do what I did the other day.
I understand.
See, what is this called?
This is a hard break.
There you go.
And I'm coming back on the other side.
Stay with us. We're back after this. And now we'll go to the Metro News anchor desk for a check of local news. You're listening to Midday on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
West Virginia Metro News. I'm Chris Lawrence. A major investment in West Virginia announced last hour in Charleston. Governor Patrick Morrisey says a $4 billion data center will be built in Berkeley County. Now, the governor this hour is detailing more about the plan in a press conference at the state capitol. Also at the Capitol, the controversial measure that would have modified the Hope Scholarship in the House does not look to be that controversial anymore. The House Finance Committee earlier today advanced the bill to the floor after stripping out most of the measure that had created major conflict among school parents.
We cover conflict and change. This Hope bill has been a matter of public conflict because it went farther than the treasurer wanted or these families wanted. The idea was it was going to scale back some costs, further refine the program. The families in particular thought that was going too far.
That's Metro News statewide correspondent Brad McElhaney. The only thing left of change is payments will be 4 times a year rather than twice. Also at the Capitol, the House Judiciary Committee advanced a bill today that would allow the use of photographic, video, and digital equipment to enforce speed limits in DOH work zones. The Contractors Association of West Virginia was heavily behind the measure after 5 workers were killed in work zones in West Virginia in the past year.
These fines were last entertained by the legislature in the mid-'90s, and so we thought that increasing them would be appropriate.
Jason Pizzatella with the Contractors. You're listening to Metro News, the voice of West Virginia. I'm Chris Lawrence, and the great outdoors is coming inside. Join me at the 24th Annual West Virginia Fishing, Hunting, and Outdoor Sports Show presented by Can-Am, March 7th and 8th at Milan Park in Morgantown. More than 100,000 square feet of fishing gear and hunting supplies, outfitters and charter boats, ATVs, campers and tractors, guns, knives, and much more, all under one roof. An outdoorsman's paradise. The West Virginia Fishing, Hunting, and Outdoor Sports Show, March 7th and 8th in Morgantown. A WVRC media event.
Hi, I'm Josh Strand, Safety Coordinator for Civil and Environmental Consultants. Some companies talk about profit first, but at CEC, we put safety first. It's not just a slogan, it's how we live. We invest in top-notch safety gear and practices because we believe a safe workplace is a productive one. I like knowing that at CEC, my safety matters. So why settle for less when you can work where safety truly comes first? At CEC, we engineer progress in the great state of West Virginia.
Find out what CEC can do for you. Visit cecinc.com.
A Clay County man is in custody on first-degree murder charges this afternoon after a shooting. West Virginia State Police and the Clay County Sheriff's Department responded to a residence in the community of Maysville this morning and found 31-year-old Savannah Keaton dead of a gunshot wound. 24-year-old Richard Grad, also from Maysville, fled the scene after the shooting. He later surrendered to investigators at another location. He's in the Central Regional Jail in Flatwoods this afternoon. From the Metro News Anchor Desk, I'm Chris Lawrence.
No young person should ever have to worry about having a safe place to sleep at night, or whether anyone cares about them.
But the reality is, 1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year.
For over 50 years, Covenant House has been helping youth in crisis and giving them the support and tools they need to succeed in life. To learn more, go to covenanthouse.org today. Thank you for caring.
This is Metro News Midday, presented by Salango Law. SalangoLaw.com.
Welcome back to the show. 26 away from 3. If you're worried about paying for college, Metro News proud to present the 19th annual West Virginia Scholar Program. One high school junior getting a full ride to West Virginia Wesleyan, room, board, tuition, and fees. Details available at wvmetronews.com. Just go to the click the Apply Now button. Deadline those May 3rd. 2026 West Virginia Scholar Program presented by Greer Industries and the West Virginia Hospital Association. WVMetroNews.com and apply today. The application deadline is May 3rd. We're taking just a little bit of time from Open Line West Virginia. I will get to it because I felt really badly the other day because we were interviewing one of our members of the House of Delegates and cut him way short. And I said, look, next time you're around, you can come in here and you can, and I'll give you an opportunity to speak. And he's here now out of Mon County. It's Delegate David McCormick. I want to ask you, Delegate, where you are on the tax cuts. That seems to be, the governor came out at his State of the State a couple of months ago and threw one figure out there, and it's gone back and forth. Where are you overall on tax cuts?
Well, if the general revenue that he presented to us, in fact, includes a 5% reduction, I'd be okay with that. Going to 10, not a fan. You know, I've never had anybody. Since I ran for office and have served now almost 2 years rather, 1 term. I don't think I've ever had anybody come up to me and say, you know what, I'm paying too many taxes, or my taxes are too high. I'm not saying that's not important. I'd say it's probably 5 or 6 down the list. Number 1 would be roads or water or things of that nature, economic development issues, you know, job-related things, PEIA. I mean, there's a lot of things that people talk about to me, and that really isn't one of them. Mm-hmm. So we have a mechanism in place that was passed in 2023 that I wasn't a part of the body at that point, but that with certain triggers were when certain triggers were achieved, the revenue surplus levels are achieved, then there's a trigger that gives us cuts our state income tax. So there's something in place already. So I like the budget. It's pretty tight, but I think that it's responsible. So that's where I'm at with that.
When I had you on the other day, and I've actually had you on a couple times talking about the vaping issue, and where are we on because this is something that's, and again, I think, and you've pointed out, and I've talked about it on the show too. Nobody is against vaping. They're not trying to outlaw vaping by any stretch of the imagination. They're just trying to get a better handle on it.
Yeah, we thank you for bringing that up. It has been my pet project this year, and I've worked on it ad nauseum. I actually wore my best tie today because I thought I was going to be on the floor arguing it, but we held it over with right to amend, so it's actually moved today to third reading tomorrow, which I'm excited about, and there I'm sure will be some amendments offered. What we're trying to do is get the bad actors out of this business, the ones that are targeting kids, marketing to kids, selling illegally to kids, that are many here illegally in our country. There's a lot of bad things going on in these vape shops, and they're living in the back. It's just a bad deal. However, having said that, there are some legitimate, above board, vape tobacco stores that are doing things the right way, and there's many that are not. The ones that are not are the ones we're going after. We're going to have our goal is to have a stringent licensing program that closely mirrors the LVL hotspot licensing language, a directory, and, you know, the sad thing, this big tobacco's fighting us on this. You'd think that they would want to get this out of these kids' hands and get rid of these bad actors. But they're over there right now at 2:39 p.m. This afternoon, and they're working to try to weaken this, and they might succeed, but nonetheless, that's what they're doing, and they're trying to weaken this bill, and I'm fighting them. I'm doing everything I can. The bill as introduced may not be what it ends up being, but I feel like no matter what happens, that that we'll be able to put a dent in these vape shops.
I think, and we'll close with this, I think when you said that about that there are bad actors, but there are those that are doing it legitimately, The legitimate ones want this just as badly.
They sure do.
I mean, because they want an even playing field.
They do.
And it's not fair if they're following the rules and other people aren't.
If you're running your business the right way and you're not selling to underage kids and you're selling tobacco-based vape products and you don't have things in there that look like Cookie Monster and Frosted Flakes and everything else, and you're selling to Dave Allen or David McCormick because we like, instead of smoking a cigarette, we like to vape, that's fine. That's fine. That's not who we're after. I told you, I've talked about this multiple times, but this is and then I'll tell you another provision in this bill that I really like is, which I also got from the hotspot language, hotspot law language, is they can't be within 300 feet of a church, school, library, or each other.
Mm-hmm.
So when I walk down High Street in Morgantown, I don't walk by 4 or 5 vape shops in a block. Same thing, pick a town, So we're trying to keep these things away from kids. We're trying to keep kids from getting hooked on them and hooked on kratom and hooked on hemp and everything else. We're trying to keep the responsible people in business and the irresponsible people, get rid of them.
Delegate David McCormick, I gave you enough time this time. Didn't have to cut you off.
Man, that was great.
And now we're going to take the non-hard break. But
Dave, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. It's great being here, and glad to do it anytime.
All right.
Thanks.
Delegate David McCormick, we'll take a break and come back after this.
At Glenville State University, we are pioneers. With over 45 undergraduate degree programs, 17 NCAA athletic teams, and countless campus organizations and activities, we're here to help you build your story while becoming a part of ours. Glenville State University, your dream, your future, your story. Visit glenville.edu today for more information.
Hi, I'm Chris Lawrence, and the great outdoors is coming inside. Join me at the 24th Annual West Virginia Fishing, Hunting, and Outdoor Sports Show presented by Can-Am, March 7th and 8th at Milan Park in Morgantown. More than 100,000 square feet of fishing gear and hunting supplies, outfitters and charter boats, ATVs, campers and tractors, guns, knives, and much more, all under one roof. An outdoorsman's paradise. The West Virginia Fishing, Hunting, and Outdoor Sports Show, March 7th and 8th in Morgantown. A WVRC media event.
We'll be right back. This is Metro News Midday. Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
New year, new trucks. Start your year off with a new truck from Dan Cava Toyota World. Now lease a 2025 Tacoma for as low as $299 a month. Save over $7,500 off on select Tundras or get 2.99% for 72 months. It's your last chance to get a gas model 2025 RAV4. Don't miss out. Come experience cars you can count on year after year. Dan Cava, Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the road.
I have had a complicated relationship with food. My job was to talk to heart failure patients about diet and exercise. I felt like, why would you listen to me? Because I was not following a diet that was healthy for me. I needed help. Bariatric surgery at WVU Medicine helped me lose 175 pounds. I feel like I'm free. They hold the skill, they hold the tools, and they're waiting for you to come say that you need the help.
Hi, I'm Chris Lawrence. Make plans to join me at the Mountain States premier Fishing, Hunting, and Outdoor Sports Show presented by Can-Am, Saturday and Sunday, March 7th and 8th at Milan Park in Morgantown. Over 200 vendor booths and 100,000 square feet of everything outdoors, all under one roof. Great prizes, seminars, and kids fish for free in the Academy Sports Trout Pond. It's the 24th Annual West Virginia Fishing, Hunting, and Outdoor Sports Show, March 7th and 8th at Milan Park in Morgantown. Doors open both days at 9 a.m.
Trojan Landing Marine is now Charleston's newest power sports dealership.
We now feature a full line of sleek Suzuki street bikes and four-wheelers. We're now offering the innovative riding experience of Benda motorcycles. The next step in motorcycle evolution with all-electric Zero high-performance bikes. We've now got Segway vehicles starting as low as $10,000. Come in and check out our great selection of high-quality Benelli and Royal Enfield bikes. Visit Trojan Landing in Charleston, now your water, road, and dirt dealership.
Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
With Metro News Hotline. If it's trending, it's probably here.
So it's Dennis, it's Rodman degrees out there today.
Oh, that sounds really uncomfortable.
I know it does. I know it does.
Is that legal? Is that past FCC? I don't know if you're allowed to say anything's Rodman something. That's
it's Rodman degrees.
That's like saying it's awful Diddy out there. I don't know that we can do that.
Yeah. Join Dave Weekly and Coop weekdays for Hotline on Metro News Television.
Stike Wealth Enhancement Group is now Wealth Enhancement, and we craft detailed financial plans for people like you because you're building your retirement your way. You deserve advice that's built to handle what your life brings. To meet with your Stike team advisor, call us at 304-443-4240 or email stike-info@wealthenhancement.com.
Welcome back to the show. 14 minutes away from 3. Kind of an abbreviated edition of Open Line West Virginia today because I wanted to allow Delegate David McCormick a little time where we had to cut him so short the other day. And he just happened to be in the building. So I said, come on in. So I'll get to all of your calls and texts right now. After I remind you that Metro News Midday is heard all over the great state of West Virginia. Great radio stations like WSLW, White Sulphur Springs, WKKX, WVLY in Wheeling, WEPM Martinsburg, WAJR Morgantown, WKLP in Kaiser, WVW Logan, WKMZ Clarksburg, WD&E in Elkins, WCHS, our flagship here in Charleston, WKMZ Clarksburg, and WJLS in Beckley. Open Line West Virginia, 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK 304. Text says, please ask Jason Huffman, editor's note from Americans for Prosperity, next time he's on, for proof that schools qualify students for special education services to get more money/federal dollars. I, says a texter, worked in public schools for over 25 years and honestly never saw a student qualify for an IEP that didn't need the services. I take offense to this, says a texter. Text says, I see that Shelley Capito was endorsed by an LGBTQ group. It appears the current Republican Party is, well, let me leave that part out. They surely aren't conservative or Christian, says a texter. Text says, accomplishments, ? Price for most items higher than they were a year ago. More fake news from Trump. This is interesting, and I'm certainly not an engineer, but somebody sent me a picture and said, signal went from your Charleston to Rap in Glenville, 103.3. I can't answer that. I don't know why. Maybe we just started rapping. You know, maybe, I mean, Delegate, when you think cool hip hop and rap, you think Delegate David McCormick and Dave Allen. Just saying. Texas, watch the left try to destroy the U.S. men's hockey team all week while the right celebrated a figure skater that won gold. But, you know, both sides, says a texter. Texas, still trying to get over the theatrics of the State of the Union speech. Trump acted like an idiot, but so did the Democrats, says the texter. Like, I appreciate the text. I have said this from day one. And anytime I say both sides, I get vilified for it. But both sides need to learn decorum, all right? From our national politics in general needs to learn decorum. When the president is speaking, whether you like the president or not, and it's a State of the Union, you say what you want after on the rebuttal, go on your social media, do whatever you want. Not the time and place for that. Said the same thing, by the way, when Democrats did it as well. Democrats, Republicans, regardless of party, act like you got, as my grandmother would say, act like you got some learning. All right. Text says, besides temporary construction jobs, what downstream businesses will data centers create? I get the steel plant will have downstream businesses pop up, but what is there with data centers? I suppose the tax revenue coming from the data centers could help, but how much will that be? And how long before they start lobbying delegates and the governor to reduce taxes, says the texter. Texas, anytime I wonder if I did the right thing by switching from Democrat to Republican, all I have to do is go back and watch the video from the State of the Union the other night that I know I did the right thing. Democrats are morons, says the texter. Appreciate the text. I think there's a lot of morons on both sides. That's me. Text says, keep telling your story about your cancer. We men don't do a good job of taking care of ourselves. Indeed. Text says, enjoyed hearing the Christy Martin interviews and props to her for reminding people that men can also be victims of domestic violence. Text says, low energy Vernon Chris, Clay Riley, and Joe Statler are backstabbing West Virginia families. They're trying to gut the Hope Scholarship and steal your children's funding. Total disaster. Our children's future is not a political tool for these rhinos. May 12th, vote for real fighters. They will protect parental rights and put our families first, according to a texter. Text says, say what you want about Trump, but the best thing he has going for him is that he isn't Biden or Kamala. Watching, says the texter, the Republicans in the legislature fall over themselves and try to screw over working people would be funny if it weren't so sad. On the driving through construction zones, Dave, text says, like you, I took my life in my own hands driving through the construction zone on I-64 outside Huntington. The work zone speed limit is 55. Almost got run over doing 60. Slow down, people, and the police need to bust some heads down there. Yeah, but Chris and I were talking about that during our news break during the 12 o'clock hour today, and I told my story last weekend. My wife and I went to Huntington, and coming back, I was in that construction zone in the Barbersville area, coming back and slowed down, to 55, and almost got ran over. I mean, people, like I'm practically, look, and I do have a tendency sometimes to have a little bit of a lead foot. All right, I'll be the first to admit it. But I take the construction zone stuff seriously. And when I slowed down to 55-ish, I was practically just like that texter run over. So slow down. Text says, the Democrats have lost their mind. They're raving lunatics. Couldn't stand at the State of the Union for mothers whose daughter was killed by illegals, child recovering from being hit by a illegal driver, for the Americans being took care of over illegals, World War II veteran, military man injured during raid in Venezuela. You'd have to be anti-American to be a Democrat. Text says, you left out their names, talking about who I should. Yeah, because that's a commercial. You got to pay for a name. Now, if you want me to mention, this was the text. I said, I'll go ahead and throw it out there. On May 12th, it says, vote for fighters Charles Herzog and Megan, I hope I'm pronouncing this right, Krajewski. They'll protect parental rights and put our families first. I left it out because basically I try not to do campaign commercials. But their texter, I got their names in there. And if I pronounced either one of them wrong, I think I got Herzog right. But Megan Krajewski, then I apologize. Megan, let me know and I will correct your name. But yes, the names have been placed in there now. Final text is, Dave, I met Ric Flair in an airport in Florida. He was very drunk, but also a cool guy. Going back to our conversation yesterday, talking about the nature boy who turned 77 yesterday. 7 minutes away from 3. We'll close it out right after this.
We'll be right back. This is Metro News Midday. Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
I have had a complicated relationship with food. My job was to talk to heart failure patients about diet and exercise. I felt like, why would you listen to me? Because I was not following a diet that was healthy for me. I needed help. Bariatric surgery at WVU Medicine helped me lose 175 pounds. I feel like I'm free. They hold the skill, they hold the tools, and they're waiting for you to come say that you need the help.
Trojan Landing Marine is now Charleston's newest power sports dealership.
We now feature a full line of sleek Suzuki street bikes and four-wheelers. We're now offering the innovative riding experience of Benda motorcycles. The next step in motorcycle evolution with all-electric Zero high-performance bikes. We've now got Segway vehicles starting as low as $10,000. Come in and check out our great selection of high-quality Benelli and Royal Enfield bikes. Visit Trojan Landing in Charleston, now your water, road, and dirt dealership.
Hi, I'm Chris Lawrence. Make plans to join me at the Mountain States premier fishing, hunting, and outdoor sports show presented by Can-Am, Saturday and Sunday, March 7th and 8th at Milan Park in Morgantown. Over 200 vendor booths and 100,000 square feet of everything outdoors, all under one roof. Great prizes, seminars, and kids fish for free in the Academy Sports Trout Pond. It's the 24th annual West Virginia Fishing, Hunting, and Outdoor Sports Show, March 7th and 8th at Milan Park in Morgantown. Doors open both days at 9 a.m.
Start your new year off right with a new ride from Dan Cava GMC. Come explore our 2026 GMC Acadias. Spacious, smooth, and made for everyday life. It's truly a fan favorite. Drive into winter with a new 2026 GMC Sierra, now up to $12,000 off, or lease as low as $499 a month. So upgrade your ride this year with us at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop Thora.
Steig Wealth Enhancement Group is now Wealth Enhancement. We believe retirement starts with a plan. Saving for college starts with a plan. Your legacy starts with a plan. Do you have the right plan? Call our team at 304-443-4240 or email steig-info@wealthenhancement.com.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
Welcome back to the show. We got about 3 minutes before the top of the hour. State's premier outdoor sports show back and bigger than ever. 24th annual West Virginia Fishing, Hunting, and Outdoor Sports Show presented by Can-Am. Back at Milan Park in Morgantown, Saturday and Sunday, the 7th and 8th of March. Over 100,000 square feet of everything outdoors. 200 vendors all in one spot. Complete details, WVOutdoorsportsShow.com, a WVRC media event. Breaking news. HD Media Sports reporting Herbert Hoover, Nitro, Ripley, and Winfield High all leaving the Cardinal Conference and joining the Mountain State Athletic Conference starting in the 2027-2028 season. 16 teams will make up the MSAC now, and we'll have two divisions, the Mountain, 7 teams, and the Cardinal, 9 teams. Did they run this by you first weekly?
I didn't even get a text about this.
Oh, it's not approved.
No.
It's not approved.
We're always shuffling teams around. That's what we do.
Yeah, shuffling teams around, shuffling.
You can transfer as a player now. You can transfer as a school.
Well, they're working. I talked to Delegate Marty Gearhart during the 1 o'clock hour. This is kind of his baby to put it back like it was.
I don't know, man.
I mean, there's a lot of momentum for it, but there's a lot of, I don't know. We'll see where it goes. What you got on the show today, buddy?
Christy Martin is going to be in studio with us today.
Does she own the network now? Because she's been on every show today.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Oh, yeah.
Well, she'll be here in studio with us.
Thank you, Rusty Webb.
At 4:33. So the counselor will be here as well.
The counselor, yeah.
So we'll talk about her career. Do you realize she was the first female fighter that was ever signed by Don King?
I do.
So what an interesting conversation that must have been.
She's the first female fighter that I know of that ever fought with Fred Persinger in the crowd.
Wow. Wow.
Tough man contest in Beckley. I verified that with Uncle Fred earlier.
Wow.
Yeah.
We are going to have, I think this is the first time in the history of the show, we're going to have 3 female guests in a row.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's a new one.
You know, when I first got into radio, there was a rule that you didn't play 2 female artists back to back.
Oh, I know. Country music, I couldn't do that either.
Yeah, we'll cover that sometime as well. Weekly and the crew coming up with a hotline on many of these same Metro News stations. Our producer, Stephanie Ryan, thank you so much. See you tomorrow. Till then, have fun and love somebody.